Sierra Vista is an alternative ed school. These are what we call at-risk students. They've already had a situation in which they were not successful. We have a fair amount of teen parents. We have students who are behind in credits for medical reasons. We have students who are behind in credits for discipline reasons. We have kids who just couldn't focus in traditional classrooms. What we're really trying to do is provide an alternative here where they can be successful. We're trying different models, we're trying different methods of delivery, we're trying different types of curriculum. Algebra was one of the things that we had really been struggling with. We had tried several different delivery methods and none of them were really what we were looking for.
We knew we needed to change things somehow, but we weren't really sure of where, what direction to go.
We didn't have a lot of resources as far as funding. So I looked for as many open educational resources as I could, and those are resources that are available freely, that are adaptable. One of the things I came across was Hippocampus, which is a project of the National Repository of Online Courses, NROC.
Algebra takes arithmetic and makes it stronger, faster. Problems that would take a lifetime.
If you look across the country, the largest single cause of students not getting to a high school diploma is algebra. It stops them. If you don't get through algebra, if you don't get through some of these base courses, you're relegated to a low-paying job, or if any job at all these days.
You may not always see it, but you could find algebra just about anywhere.
We developed a course that took advantage of a lot of the research that is out on how different types of technology address different types of learning styles. We have games that can help lower math anxiety. We have project-based learning that allows students to draw upon some higher level thinking skills.
We had tried other online programs, but they were very rigid, and the students had to go through them kind of lockstep, and they would get caught up on one concept that they just couldn't push past. So we needed more flexibility.
Our courses are built with a learning object architecture. So for example, if I'm an instructor and I wanted to use that Algebra 1A course, but maybe I don't necessarily teach it in the same order that NROC has created it, the learning object architecture allows them to break it apart, move it around. They can add their own resources.
We can add things, we can take things out, and we can make it work for our teachers and for our students. That's what really made the difference.
We would spend a lot of time talking to students, finding out what was and wasn't working for them. We would build something, take it off the assembly line, put it in front of the students again and say, how's that? And surprisingly, we were wrong a lot.
Things that involve ranges of distances, like all the places you could go in a tank of gas.
The language is actually critically important. It's got to be clear. It's got to be words that students hear and understand easily. Idioms aren't going to work because English may not be their first language. Humor doesn't work, especially for a 15-year-old 8th grader. It's just not going to work.
It takes a lot of people who have different expertise. Teachers who've taught teachers, developmental editors, people who know how to write good problems.
And this is essentially your textbook for the class. So this is where you're going to be doing all your reading, really looking at how to complete those math tasks.
When I'm in here with them, I'm working with them on anything they're struggling with. Sometimes we have to go back and redo assignments in order to get them up to par where they need to be. Really whatever they need to help them be successful. So I'm going to be there to help you along the way, but this is where you're going to need to go first. Students to go through the class at their own pace has been really important because the students that are really comfortable with the curriculum are able to work ahead and not be constrained by our timeline of getting everybody through at the same pace. Students who are struggling a bit more have that flexibility of taking more time. So they're under less pressure to complete things, and it really just makes them more comfortable.
So remember X, then Y. X moves side to side, Y moves up and down.
I know that.
I know you do.
I really like this program because it is so very different from the direct instruction classes. It's more exciting for me. I'm not doing the same thing every day, every week, over and over again.
Because in this one, you psyched yourself out and you didn't even need to.
Yeah.
These kids are just as intelligent as the kids at the regular high school. They will work just as hard if you can get them in the right situation. We got our results from our traditional class, and they were our traditional results, and they weren't great. I got the results from the hybrid class, and the hybrid class had a 95% pass rate on the first district benchmark. That's an improvement of about 45% over the traditional class. That's even better than the students at the comprehensive high schools do.
To see them outperform other students in the district, that's really great. I think a lot of that confidence that they are building in this class spreads to the other classes because they are experiencing success in one of the hardest subjects for them. So if they can master this, the world is theirs.
This is all about empowering students. This is about engendering confidence. You know, there's the idea that I'm just bad at math, and I'm just lousy at math. That's just not the case for almost anybody.
To have something that someone has made, that someone has put so much work into, that is such a good quality content, is really valuable for us.
It's just sort of this time in history is a perfect time to do this. You can use technology to customize, to personalize education. We don't all learn the same way. We don't. So to use technology to make products more flexible so that it can be right for every person is a huge deal.